And listen, you not ready for that conversation, but Jeff Epstein, not a, but you're not ready for that conversation. All of his victims, 14 to 17. That's not 14 to 17. 14.
Man, what the f is you talking? Nick Fuentes is an idiot that advocates for. That's it. That's the hook for this video.
I want to drink it straight from the tap. I want it raw. I don't want to wait a moment. Right when the milk is good, I want to start drinking the milk. Same thing goes with women. I don't want to turn 30 and find some 20-year-old, 29-year-old woman that I have something in common with. And it's like, hey, properly aged like wine. Women don't age like wine. They age like milk. They don't age like wine. That's not how their hormones work. That's not how they work. Yeah, I gotta find my 16-year-old wife.
Depending on how much you value your mental health, you may or may not be familiar with Nick Fuentes, but he has a pretty colorful history for a racist white nationalist, and I'm fully aware of the irony in that statement, alright? He's the figurehead of a group called the Groypers, which is a super far-right political movement that started from a meme in spaces like 4chan. They're America First nationalists, opposed to immigration from non-white countries, they hate women, they're chronically online, and nobody actually takes what they say seriously, to be honest. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. They're drooling at a computer screen next to an empty bottle of Jergens and crusted hand towels, beating it till it's ashy to a rumble stream of Nick Fuentes, screaming at a camera about white nationalism as a Mexican, while also saying he loves everybody.
I love all people, even the ones that don't like us. We have to love them all, and we have to recognize that
we're required to.
Yes, there is an occult element at the high levels of society, and specifically among the Jews. They must be absolutely annihilated. Hitler was a pedophile and kind of a pagan. It's like, well, he was also really cool. My best friend is a Jewish person. When we control your bodies, hey, we control your bodies. It's your body, my choice. Women want to be, but there's like a lot of women that really want a guy to beat the shit out of them. I love all people. There will never, ever be a female president. Never. We will keep you down forever. You will never control your own bodies. I don't consider myself temperamentally to be an angry or a hateful person. I'm not attacking women. I'm attacking whores. I'm attacking stupid, dirty. I love all people. White people are every single bit justified in being racist. Even the ones that don't like us, we have to love them all, and we have to recognize that
we're required to.
Yes.
He sounds like a confused Cuban in Miami. To be honest, it's a shame. It's a shame you haven't liked or subscribed yet. And it's a shame that he can't just crawl back into his incel hole and shut the fuck up and stop embarrassing himself. But he's in this shit for the long haul, no matter how many times he chooses to hang himself with his stupid ass clip-on ties and terrible takes about pretty much everything. But just when I thought it couldn't possibly get any worse. Of course it gets worse. It always gets worse.
Completely dominated men with the word pedo. They took what was natural male sexuality for all human history and conflated it with child fucking to shame men away from it and artificially increase the sexual value of hags. How old was Mary again when God impregnated her?
Dude, brother, so true. So true. That is so absolutely true. And listen, you are not ready for that conversation, but Jeff Epstein, not a, but you're not ready for that conversation. All of his victims, 14 to 17. That's not, but y'all ain't ready for that conversation. People say that's normalizing. That's defining. Children are people that are before the age of sexual maturity. Now, you can have your opinion and your taste and your ethics and your morals, but after the age of 14, that is past the point of sexual maturity, just period, biologically. Do you know what canon law in the Catholic Church says? It says the minimum age to get married is 14 for women, 16 for men.
So not only is he a white nationalist, racist Mexican having an identity crisis, he's also an insurrectionist. A sexist and misogynist.
That women are very difficult to be around.
Okay.
So there's that.
And do you think they should have the right to vote?
I do not, no.
And now he's fully in support of... He needs his hard drive checked. And for anybody who tries to defend Nick, and I don't know why you would try to do that because that is disgusting. Sure, the clinical term is called ephebophilia, right? But at the end of the day, ephebophilia is the same group of people, all right? It doesn't matter. When you go to prison for messing with minors, you're all grouped the same, all right? You're gonna be segregated in your own housing, in protective custody. It's all gonna be seen the same, all right? So exchange pedophilia in my video for ephebophilia, for minor abuser, for whatever you like, all right? It all fits. They're trash, they're disgusting, and it's not really to be defended in my opinion, but whatever, you do you. And one more thing, all right? I'm using pedophilia as a colloquial term, all right? I don't know why I have to explain that, but I do because people say stupid things in comment sections trying to get their dumb points across. I don't know, but yeah, it is what it is. And no, that was not out of context. He really said that shit. And not only did he say that shit with his chest, he's cultivating an audience that agrees with him. He has a following of over 1 million people across all of his social media platforms. Think about that. Young, impressionable kids being trained to think being a was okay. This is where we're at. Defending PDFs. My God, how far we have fallen. It's absolutely embarrassing, bro. And it's not just him. It's people like Ted Cruz.
How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking
Megyn Kelly.
But that he was into the barely legal type. Like he liked 15-year-old girls. I don't know what's true about him, but we have yet to see anybody come forward and say, I was I was under 10. I was under 14 when I first came within his purview. You can say that's a distinction without a difference.
No, it's not.
I think there is a difference.
Yeah.
There's a difference between a 15-year-old and a 5-year-old. You know, it's just whatever. It's sick. Every time we start talking about Epstein, it makes your skin crawl. You right? The whole thing is just disgusting.
Totally.
What in the hell? You got to be under 10 to be preyed upon by a grown man? No, that's not the definition at all.
Pam Bondi.
Under the law Congress passed, you were allowed to redact photos to protect the victims of Epstein's sex trafficking operation. You redacted the photos of this victim's face because you were following the congressional law. Is that correct?
I'm sorry that we redacted the victims.
Because you were following the congressional law, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You have now established that please put the photos back up, that we are looking at a sex trafficking victim. Under the Federal Victims Trafficking Protection Act, not only is Jeffrey Epstein guilty, but anyone who patronizes Epstein's sex operation is also guilty of a crime. That's why I find it absolutely despicable that you sought to protect Epstein's clients, like former Prince Andrew. Last July, you closed the case on Epstein's abusers. The July 2025 memo from your Department of Justice stated, quote, "We did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties."
And so many others. But back to Nick for a second. What I can't seem to wrap my head around, though, is why he's looking to the Catholic Church or religion as some sort of answer for why being a pedo is okay. As if the Catholic priests haven't built themselves a reputation for diddling little boys. Like you said that like you just hit checkmate or some shit. The manipulative, sick, and twisted thought process you need to have to even try to reason some shit like that in your mind to be okay is some top tier Epstein list fuckery. So you're saying it's okay for a grown man to lay up with some 14-year-old because she's sexually matured. What if she's sexually matured at 12 years old? Still in middle school, is that okay? Going to pick her up after gym class in a jalopy and making sure she gets her fucking social studies homework done before bedtime? Is that okay to you? It's like he doesn't know there's peer-reviewed studies about this very topic that give reason for why underage children and adults should not have romantic relationships. As if you need a dissertation to understand something that should be common fucking sense. But I guess when you go your entire adult life without seeing a clitoris, it starts to fuck with your head in strange ways. Couldn't be me. But if you like it, I love it, Nick.
You also promote like the way of interacting with women. And I go, have you been in a relationship with a woman?
No.
So how are you telling other people how to behave towards women when you yourself have not had any actual physical, interaction with them?
What, people calling me gay because I've never had a girlfriend? I think if anything, it makes me less gay. If anything, it makes me not gay. As opposed to less gay. Not that there's any gay, but it makes me not gay. Well, because think about it this way. A gay people do date girls all the time. Real. And when I said on Elijah Schaefer's show, when they said, have you ever been in a romantic relationship? Have you ever had sex with a girl? And I said, no. If you name searched me on Twitter, as I always do, all these gay people are coming out and saying, I've had more girlfriends than Nick. I've had sex with more girls than Nick. So like I said last week, not only is that thinking flawed, but actually it's the reverse. That actually makes me really more heterosexual than anybody. If we're really being honest, never having a girlfriend, never having sex with a woman really makes you more heterosexual, because honestly, dating women is gay. Having sex with women is gay.
I've noticed a lot of far right-wing content creators and politicians are starting to lean more and more into religion to justify their fucked up mindsets. For example, right-wing red-pilled content creators suddenly converting to Islam has been a running joke on YouTube for a while now. They want multiple wives, they want to do what the fuck they want, and they don't want to actually be held accountable for anything they do that falls out of line with the religion they practice. They're frauds.
Stop normalizing women getting an education. Education is literally ruining our sisters. Most of them don't even know how to run a household. Most of them aren't marriage material. Most of them are becoming the men that they want to marry. They study to become a doctor or a lawyer or this, that, and the other. And in the end, when they're 30, 35, unmarried and barren, they're looking for the doctor at that age. They're looking for the lawyer. They're looking for the successful businessman at that age. Why is this? Because the fathers have prioritized education over them becoming housewives, becoming people women that are women. Not every woman needs to be educated and go get a college degree and this, that, and other. We don't need a billion doctors. Disgusting, man. Disgusting, the state that we're in. But no, these fathers are okay with their daughters going to colleges where they end up committing zina because marriage is not fulfilled and it's put on a back burner.
It's a dictatorship, sweetheart?
Yeah,
what makes it a dictatorship?
You're like, I'm the boss and this is how it's going to go. Like, that's not right.
That's Christianity. You better learn it.
It's not.
Yeah, it is. You're a female pastor, literal heretic. How could you ever tell me what Christianity is or isn't?
Heretic. Okay, answer my question. How are you laying down your life for your wife?
What do you mean? My decision-making skills are what protects my family, including my wife. It protects everybody. That's what patriarchy is. That is what the ecclesiastical church is. They're there to protect you from you. That's what Christianity is. Your church is there to protect you from you because you're a sinner. Because you live in a world that is monstrous.
Yes.
And you need the patriarchy and the ecclesiastical authority to tell you what's what.
You have the head knowledge, but you do nothing with love.
Yeah, and you have what's called head canon. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. You believe that females can be ordained ministers and that it's useful and necessary, and that is literally heresy.
I feel like there's no other religion. People say to me, why did you convert? And I said, I don't really feel it as a conversion. It's almost like I knew God was real and now I've become religious. And they say, well, you were religious before. I was like, religious before how? Christian? What does Christian mean? Like, who's not a Christian? You go to Christian nations and everyone says they're a Christian. Look how they live their lives. Go into the average church. Is anyone actually fearful of God? Anybody.
It doesn't matter whether a woman wants to be a lawyer or a housemaker or a webcam girl. Unless she has a man directing her, she's going to fuck it up.
Fuck Venezuela. Take all their shit. I'm against these long, prolonged boots on the ground, let's launder trillions, thousands of death, bullshit wars, Afghanistan garbage. I'm against that. But I am for efficient imperialism. Send the Blackhawks, kidnap one guy, in and out, 45 minutes, get trillions. Bro, let's take all of it. Let's take Colombia. Let's take Mexico. Let's take all of Europe. Bro, I wish America would just invade Europe. Take Greenland. What the fuck are Denmark gonna do? What the fuck are Denmark gonna do? Nothing. Take their shit, bro. Take it. Why are we leaving South America to these fucking South Americans, these fucking Mexicans? Anyone with a brain knows Mexico and below is all one big Mexico. Just a bunch of fucking Mexicans. I'm from Argentina. I'm from Colombia. I'm from Honduras. You're a bunch of Mexicans. If you saw a man from Honduras breaking into your car and you called the police, you'd be like, hey, there's a Mexican breaking into my car.
Man, Andrew should never be allowed to talk about conquering land or women leading anything ever again. He couldn't even lead his own hands to his opponent's face. He couldn't conquer his own boxing match. I'd pray 5 times a day I'd never run into Chase Demore's hands again too if I were him. I get it. I totally understand. But this is why I give religion the side eye more and more as I progress through life, man. These sick fucks will do anything to justify the most evil shit you can think of, bro, and just chalk it up to, well, God said. I don't think God wants you to be a shit person. There's so many examples throughout history of people using religion as a reason to step on people below them or make them feel comfortable in the fact that they're getting fucked over. There's no way you can say you love everyone and you're Christian, Muslim, or whatever and want to cause harm to someone because they don't look like you or believe in what you believe in. And harm doesn't always have to be physical, by the way. It could be institutional harm, where you're just supporting laws that strip rights and protections from people or voting to intentionally make life harder for people. Social and emotional harm, where love is preached to masses, but groups of people are excluded from community spaces. Ideological harm. The list goes on. And it's all just swept under the rug to be a chapter in a history book we'll never learn from. Bro, really think about how dumb these people are. The cognitive dissonance is crazy. To live in states with Spanish names like Nevada, New Mexico, Montana, Texas, Florida, etc., and want Latinos out of the country. What? These idiots want an all-white nation but can't stop themselves from celebrating Cinco de Mayo or drafting black athletes to their shitty fantasy league teams, bro. They need people of color, especially black people, which is why they had to drag us over here to help them build the country and teach them how to wash their ass and season food. Get a fucking grip, bro. These people are cradle robbers, uneducated, mentally off-center, and cultist. Plain and simple. And they don't know Puerto Rico is a territory of the United States, and they don't think Bad Bunny is American. They're idiots.
Do you think Bad Bunny is a good choice for the Super Bowl?
I'm not that knowledgeable about him, but it seems fine, and I don't know why it's a big deal. Seems like a great American artist, so sure.
He's not an American artist, but
he's Puerto Rican. That's part of America, dear.
Tommy Lauren's catching a stray too. I just don't like her. She's on the same corner, so fuck it. For the life of me, bro, I don't understand the appeal of Nick Fuentes or any of these weirdos with extremist ideologies. It does nothing to actually solve any real issues. It's just people that are white and or rich, scared of what people of color could possibly do to them for all the fucked up shit they put us through. But guess what? We're not like you guys. If we were truly violent people, that would have came to pass so long ago, bro. And that's the truth. Because we have plenty to be enraged about, believe you me. But in the grand scheme of things, we do not have a violent history. But I know who does. White supremacist, PDFs, imperialist, billionaires. I could keep going. And another thing, this game of move the goalpost for what's considered is nuts. It's so obvious it makes me angry, bro, especially as someone who has a daughter. It makes me angry to know people like our elected officials who are supposed to be protecting us in a sense are walking free. That people like Nick Fuentes are allowed to stream their fucked ideology to adolescents because it brings in revenue for a platform, even if it's at the expense of underage girls potentially being harmed. This is not okay. It's not funny. It's not entertaining. It's not creative. It's just mindless hate speech from people who are mentally ill. Thanks for watching.